At the time, I was not charged, but I put it on the TV like it was charged, like it was like America Most Wanted, like a reenactment. So I'm watching myself on the TV, and I'm saying, "Damn, y'all, what the hell's going on?" So every guy was in the dormitory was curious, like, "Man, y'all did that?" I said, "Man, we ain't did that. We did not do that, man." Pure, you know. But yeah, this guy was in a dormitory named Black. So Black said, "Man, y'all did." I said, "No, we ain't did that, man." You know what I mean? I just came from Florida, just come to Baltimore 6 months. Actually, I do not know where this crime occurred because I don't know Baltimore like that. You know? So I said, "That's bad, man. That's messed up, whatever." So I said, "Okay." So I get my nigga, like, as far as where I'm from in Jamaica, where I was living in Miami, came on there, and I don't know too much Jamaicans in Baltimore. That was it. So we came like casual friends. I mean, it looks out for him, whatever. Fast forward. So what happened was he got 10 years for armed robbery. And when he got 10 years for armed robbery, he came and let me know what it was. So at the time, I never been locked up before. So 10 years to me was a lot of time. So, okay, I said, "Man, you got my friend number. Go ahead. And whenever you want to, anything, just contact him, contact me." That was it. So basically, I went for the initial charge, which was the drug and gun charge. No, my bad. It was coming from the Monday. And on the Monday, they bring my on my birthday, July the 5th, on a Ritz. The police came and come and get us. And they got me in the car saying, "We got you now, Darren." Not Duane, Darren. They're telling people at City Jail that to come to crime. So I paid no mind. I think it was just like, whatever, man. Y'all playing games once again. This time, they charged me for double homicide. And it was on now. So when I came to the City Jail, I'm asking, like, who the hell is Carl Taylor? They said, Carl Taylor. The police told me, I told Carl Taylor I come to crime. I could not know who it was. Fast forward, we're going to trial. And I saw Black in the bullpen. And I seen Black. I said, "Man, I was so happy, man." I said, "Black, I'm going to call finally, man, because I postponed the case so much time. I just want to get him there. I'm going to sue the state and prove my innocence." I said, "Well, you're here for Black." Black said, "Okay, I'm here for give back some time." I said, "I'll see you later on." He was in the bullpen by himself, in the holding cell. So the bailiff asked me, "Who's that?" I said, "My friend Black." He said, "No, that's Carl Taylor, state witness against you. We know Carl from back in the 80s. When the state ain't got no case, they get called. Carl want to go and call lie." And that's how I got charged with murder, because of a jailhouse snitch. You know? And if the audience don't know what's a jailhouse snitch, you know, a jailhouse snitch is an inmate usually waiting trial or sentence who claims to have heard another prisoners and make an admission about a case. To note, the informant known for fabricate false information that have led to wrongful conviction just to get out of prison card by any means necessary. This was called. And he had 10 years, and for his 10 years, I ended up getting double life plus 10 years and life.
And that's crazy work right there. Jailhouse informants are used a lot. Government informants, they will sneak them in to use them and utilize them to corroborate or get a witness or fabricate a story to help to make a case. And as we're going to talk about later, especially with Detective Davis, some of the cases that he was involved in, he is known for that. He has known for fabricating and altering police reports and lying, just flat out lying, and has gotten caught up with that, as it has led to the exoneration of a few guys in Baltimore here recently. So my next question to you is, I know that we're here tonight, and I talk about advocating for you as well, because I am a law student. I haven't passed the bar yet. I graduate next year. But I want to, as being a part of your case and being a part of your advocacy team, what do you feel, especially for myself and Andre, who has brought this to my attention, how do you think the media's involvement in the case can contribute to overturning wrongful conviction and keep bringing awareness to your case and to the wrongdoing in your case?
Once you realize with the media, it can be a freedom fighter and it could be a prosecutor. And back in 1992, that's where it was. I mean, when you're locked up for a crime and you start to believe you cover the crime by reading the newspapers and watching media, that's a big effect. Actually, I was in prison and I'm reading these headlines and watching news and I said, God damn, it seems to me like we're actually covering this crime because the way that was putting this information together, anybody in society would believe that we're coming this crime. Because they're getting this information from the prosecutor office, not from us or anybody involved as far as advocating for us. And when I tell you, it's very intense. When you have a goosebump on your skin and you start to believe, man, God damn, I probably covered this crime because the way they're putting information out that was there, they're putting a scenario, the scene, the crime scene, who's involved, and you involved, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But as now, as the media, I would like to use it for advocating for innocence because you got to understand, we're innocent in prison and the guilty walk in society as we speak and one is incarcerated. That's not good for the victim family. That's not good for us. And it's not good for society, period. Because remember, 2 kids died in this fight.
Absolutely.
And we did not cover the crime. And the guilty walks in society as we speak. So this is what I need to know about and dig more deep and put aside we being Jamaicans and 2 kids died. The end of the day is, man, 2 kids died. That's a travesty. We're feeling that. I got kids, I got grandkids, and it's hurt. But you got to understand, 3 men is in prison innocent, and we did not commit this crime, and we'll be going through 30 years hurt, hell on earth. I will try to prove this injustice.
Absolutely. And so just before we get into, because I do want to touch on your immigrant status and you being a Jamaican that was new to the area, not just, I think newly to the country at the time, maybe 2 years in, but also just your immigrant status. Before we go there, I do want to highlight what you said, that it is an injustice that 3 innocent guys are serving a life sentence for something that they did not do. So not only is that a miscarriage of justice on them, but we cannot negate the fact or ignore the fact that we have 2 kids that lost their lives that have not gotten justice, regardless of what Baltimore has said. These kids have not received their due justice. As the person who truly committed this crime and took their lives wrongfully, it still has not been penalized or has not been convicted for this crime. And so I think that we need to, while we're advocating, we do want to make sure we highlight that these kids wrongfully lost their lives. These innocent kids lost their lives. And it's not that saying that we're not ignoring the fact that that was wrong, but we also want to make sure that they get justice, but these 3 guys get justice as well, because all of them, now you have 5 victims of the system that have received an injustice.
Can I intervene for 1 minute? Catandra?
Yes.
We grew up in Christian homes, and I'm not going to say I'm the best citizen on the streets. I never killed nobody in my life. And there's no way on earth me and my uncles is going to show a firebomb in the dwelling of a family house for $300. It could be $1 million, $1 billion. We could not do that. We never would do that. And everybody just on the stipulation of Jamaicans. They got to understand, man, 1% of Jamaicans may be criminal in prison. The next 99 is hard working people. And they got to get off that stipulation like we're all are criminals. At the end of the day, none of us had no criminal history. Never been locked up before, but no crime at all. And we just got to get out the fact that Jamaicans took his life. We got to get justice need to be served, and we need to find people who commit this crime and give justice to them kids and to us. And that's just that you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so just to go back into that, and I am welcoming Andre to tag to chime in on this one as well. Because I think I've talked about this with both of y'all when it came to the impact of your immigration status, the fact that you were not an American, a true American in this country, and how that played a part in your conviction and how they carried you and your treatment in the criminal justice system. So I would like for you to answer that first, Duane, and then I want your perspective as well, Andre, due to the fact that you are Jamaican as well, and have been involved in this system. So, what do you think? How do you think your immigration status played a part in your conviction and how the criminal justice system carried you?
Yeah, at the time, late 80s and 90s, it was broadcast on international news, the shower posse. Jamaicans this, Jamaican that. And it was a bad stigma. It was like, keep on putting out there, Jamaicans do this, whatever. So if you got an accent, you're Jamaican. If you're from out of state, New York, you're Jamaican. And it was just around that time because it was a crime happened in Baltimore City and one in D.C., long before, I think PG County, where Jamaica was involved. And that was just only two crimes. But the nature of the crimes caused that attention, and at that time, it's just like this. And a movie named Mark for Death. With that movie, it put a bad stigma on Jamaicans. It's like when I was growing up, you got cowboy Indian movies. You raise up to believe that the Indians was the bad guy and the cowboy was the good guy. And if you do research, it's otherwise. It's the same way as far as Jamaicans. You know what I mean? Just put out there. But we're hard-working people, Jamaicans, like I said, 1%, per half percent screwed out, the rest is hard-working people. And that stigma, man, it was like, they put us out there, Jamaican posse, shower posse, this and that. The prosecutor tried that tactics at court, called us a shower posse, Jamaican posse, but we wasn't been locked up in Jamaica or never before in America. So it was no sense I bring that up, but to try to add it in there to contaminate the Jew mindset to make it be a Jamaican thing. And before Andre Charming, I should say, remember now, we were locked 30 years, do my investigation, the word on the street, the word in prison. It's not Jamaican committing this crime. It's Americans committing this crime. Someone confessed this crime to several individuals and to the Americans. So what I'm saying to the public and put it out there is, it is not Jamaican committing crime. And we know we did not commit a crime. How on earth people could come to court and say they are Jamaican accents? People had dreads. It's a narrative was put in there. And this came from the police department. Officer Kevin Davis, William Ricks, Richard Politich, Gerald Goldstein, John Haley. These officers is now in like 10 cases or Noah is involved in wrongful conviction cases where the framed them guys, false testimony, told witnesses say this and say that. And guess what? All 6 of these detectives is collectively is in my case. So they use the Jamaican thing and get these people to say this and say that. They got a conviction. And this needs to be noted and to be proven because we did not commit crime. No Jamaican commits crime. Why is the narrative? These aspects of Jamaican criteria as far as accent, way of dress, culture was involved. Really checking that.
Okay. All right, Andre.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the stigma it was negative because like from '88 back to '92, Jamaicans all upon the East Coast, like from New York, Boston, all the way to, like he said, DC. They were involved in a lot of foolishness. So basically, like if you caught a charge or you have any accident or whatever, that was basically they try to say you was a part of the war that was going on. And they tried it in my case, but it didn't go anywhere as far as like trying to use that narrative. But like I say, it's a negative stigma that's painted upon the culture, and especially back in the early '90s when Duane was incarcerated, it was much worse then. But he's right though.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback on that, I want to also just highlight that just Jamaicans and Caribbeans, because I remember they said it was a Caribbean accent, um, but how propaganda, because he referenced a movie and how movies help paint the stigma of Jamaicans being ruthless and being violent, and contributed also to not but to add to what was going on during that time period with some of the Jamaicans that were committing crimes. However, it is also known in the history of America, when it comes to black, whether you're immigrant or not, there's always a public stigma of black being dangerous. And there's always movies or news that's going to depict you as the most dangerous and the most ruthless and the most violent, when history has always shown who's the most violent and who's the most ruthless and who's the most um no cut cards when it comes to obtaining what they want. And even in this case, then in this reverse case of how that stigma played against Duane and his uncles, but also how they used their own methods to obtain that conviction, of being ruthless and undercutting and sneaky and conniving. Um, so just to go, just to jump around a little bit, um, I want to talk about what role do you think with, because I know that Duane, that you talked about that y'all took a polygraph test and that you guys passed this polygraph test, and so I want to know what role can polygraph tests play in supporting claims of innocence, and why you think they are not. I can give you the answer why they're not permissible in court, but why do you think they're not allowed in court, or not
Okay,
permissible in
okay.
court?
So Catandra, so what's going on with this polygraph test? The reason why I took it because the lawyer at the time said that every prisoner claims they are innocent in prison. Why should believe you? So I said, check this out. I don't know about everybody else, but I know that me and my uncles are 100% innocent, and I'm going to take any test, polygraph test, just to prove to you I didn't commit crime. So are you sure? I said, bring it on. So I paid for the test, whatever. We got the best polygraph examiner in the state of Maryland, who is a former FBI agent and what the prosecutor office and every police department, FBI, whoever, trust this man. Correctional officers, you gotta test through this man to get this job. Everything. We got the best of the best. So when the dude came in and gave me the test, he asked me, Mr. Dundas, I'm gonna give you this test. I'm on your side. So, listen, you cannot play no games. You cannot beat this test. That agent can beat this test. So, work with me. Let's keep it real. I said, check this out. I've got nothing to hide. And a matter of fact, I want you to ask me these questions, what I'm telling you to ask me. He said, man, sure. I want to ask me if I covered a crime, if I know the crime, if my uncle covered a crime, he was on the scene and everything. He said, are you sure? I said, exactly. I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. So I took the test. And then the Friday, I took the test, whatever. The Monday, and I called my lawyer, Michelle Marks. She was crying on the phone and said, Duane, oh my God, I believe you. We took the test, and he said that you haven't seen a polygraph chart this perfect. You did a common crime. And he told her that it was still the fields of enforcement. He would have tried to get home because this test was so perfect, the chart was so good, no deception. Now, to answer your question, the police department will give you a lot to take a test when they feel like there's discrepancy as far as who do it and who's not. If you fail that test, they're going to go in all the way, legally or illegally, to get a conviction, to obtain evidence to get a conviction. You know what I mean? But when you do pass this test, it's inadmissible in court. You know what I mean? They try to keep it out. They try to keep it away. But if you fail this test, it's used against you. So it's inadmissible. But it's not inadmissible when the police department give it to you and you fail. I tried to get this test initially when I was locked up. They wouldn't give it to me because I know I would pass the test. Mark and note, I've never been in the military before. I don't know the fake a test or whatever. I just told the truth. It's 100% truth. We did not commit this crime. I was not on the scene. I did not commit this crime. My uncles did not commit this crime. I have no nothing of the crime. Let her tell everybody in the public. I wasn't watching news on the streets. I don't even know this crime even happened. That's the problem. When I was arrested, it was new to me. So, okay, y'all got a wrong guy. But it's 32 years later, I'm in prison for this crime.
Right. And I think that's and one thing about polygraph tests, they are one of the reasons why they're not admissible in court is due to the fact that they cannot definitively prove guilt, or they can't distinguish between deception and anxiety. And I think the key fact that got me just now is the fact that you said it was completely perfect, which means that, to me, that means that you were completely calm. There was no anxiety, even being interrogated, and under the pressures of being locked up in a jail. When they gave you a polygraph test, you were still completely calm and still adamant and remain consistent with your story. So I don't know how that doesn't prove that there was no anxiety, or that there was deception, because there was no deception, because you were completely calm. So and that's one of the things they usually use. But due to the rules of evidence, they will find a way when it comes to investigations and things like that, they do polygraph testing.
Could I intervene for one?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so the polygraph was 4.0. That's highest you could get a polygraph test, which is no reception. At 0.1, which is also truthful. And the reason for that is the examiner told me that I must lie as far as my birthday, about July the 5th. Say July the 6th, to just see if the polygraph test works. I would say July the 6th, it bounced up and down to show that it's exactly. Now, let me tell you this much. I had a friend of mine named X, and his companion, which is a former journalist, when I saw the former prosecutor in a movie last year before she came to office, and she asked him, like, if I should release Mr. Dundas today, would he be mad if the next co-defendant is not released? And he told her that, which was a mistake on his part, that it's all or nothing. And the reason why she said that is her polygraph expert at the prosecutor office reviewed the tests and said, again, this is one of the cleanest chart we've seen for a person with no deception in a polygraph test. So these tests is effective. The potential tests, this is the way of the world as we speak. It's an admissible court, but it works. You see these talk shows, it works. And they use it against defendants if they believe there's a discrepancy as far as do they do it or not. And if they do it, they fail the test, they're going in, they're going hard. Pass the test, they keep it to the side and hide it for the public. And the excuse is if the defensive counsel brings it up, oh, it's going to be court. But if you fail it, it's going to be mentioned in court. But your lawyer can object what's already a record. You fail the test.
Absolutely. And just to add to that, one thing that we learned in rules of evidence that when it comes to polygraph tests, when you do fail a polygraph test, because they're going to use it for investigative purposes. So if you fail a polygraph test, they're going to say it's going to lead them to do other things within your investigation. So it's going to lead to probable cause. It's going to lead to possibly them getting a warrant or searching for something. And when they find something from that warrant that they served or that probable cause, you better believe that when you go to trial, it's going to be like, oh, well, this led to reasonable discovery because he failed the polygraph test. And so, like you said, your defense attorney can't object to it, but it's already on record. And while the polygraph test itself is not admissible, now it's on record that you failed a polygraph test, regardless of the fact. So it's crazy that it only benefits and only comes in handy when you fail it, so that it can prove what they want. But when it's to your benefit to say that no, I did not commit this crime, then it's like, oh no, we can't admit that, so we're not going to even talk about it. So I think that's the crazy part about a polygraph test. Just to add on top of that, when you have some of the most high level security clearances, government, military, that have to go through polygraph. So if they're so skeptical about these polygraph tests, why are they given to people who are guarding and have an oversight over our national security, but not in the court system when it comes to helping someone? So I think that's key to pay attention to on polygraph tests. That might be something I might advocate for, but that's another date. So my next question will be, let's see. What do you think the criminal justice system could have done better to protect you and your uncles from false testimony and manipulation by informants and law enforcement officers? Do you think that may have been because you guys have been here new to the country, maybe new to the area, and it was just that lack of familiarity with you guys? Or do you think there's something else that could have been done, that the criminal justice system could have done, to help prevent it going as far as it is?
First of all, have a prosecutor and lawyer. Then let's say prosecutor and lawyer take that bar, give an oath to protect innocent, meaning that innocent before proven guilty. And that's just the standard of taking a bar and passing the test. Now, when you got a case between his guy and the public is crying for justice, we want somebody to pay for this court. So, end of the day, prosecutor, police department is doing this, doing that. So, basically,
I think you went out for a minute, so I think we missed something.
I went, okay, so what I'm saying is, in these cases, you got zealous prosecutors, and you got police detectives who's trying to make a name for themselves, which they did. Now, it doesn't make a difference if you do it or not. They're going to find someone to give that charge to, and they're going to put it together, fabricate it. Now, in our case, we did not have no family in Baltimore, Maryland. We was 3 family members who was trying to make it in America. And We didn't have no family, so we was easy scapegoat for this charge, and to give us this charge and find us guilty. So the end of the day is, like I'm saying, like I'm thinking back was when I was locked, I was saying, damn, yo, why we? But know the law now, I know what time it was. This charge was given to us, and the bottom line is we did not have no backtick, no advocate at the time, no family member to advocate for us. That was an easy conviction. A matter of fact, when we do have family members was come to court back in the days, the judge at the time would keep on postponing the case back and forth, back and forth. Now we got people come from England, Jamaica, New York, whatever. They can't keep on taking off from work and buying these plane tickets to support. So when it was actual trial, we all had one person in court, girlfriend and my stepfather to support us. But when we found guilty, then everybody could come at a set date. So that's a strategy they used back then. Basically, go ahead.
Absolutely. I agree. I totally agree with that. And just to piggyback off of that, that's not just a strategy they used back then. That's a strategy they use now.
They still do. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think one thing that when it comes to me dealing with those who are prior incarcerated, and one thing that I'm taking that I've learned going into the legal profession, how important it is to make sure that your client knows that you are their advocate, if no one else, because you're right, not having family there to advocate and make noise is very important, and sometimes it's tough. And when they see that, they see it, it's like no one's going to miss this person, so we ain't got to worry about this blowing back in our face because no one's going to care, because no one's there to back this person. And I think that's the wrong mentality to have, especially for a system that is supposed to be fair and unjust. I mean, and fair and just. I should say. It's, but it's not. It's not. But I think that's very important to highlight is how they strategically, and they will play games like that now, when it comes to, because now, one of the things they talk about is how often plea agreements work, because they will force you into a plea agreement. And the fact is the reason why they do that, if you refuse to take a plea agreement, how they penalize you for not taking a plea agreement. So if you want to go to trial, I'm going to make you pay for it. And that part of that process is making sure that everything I can get thrown at you, that the book get thrown at you. But not only that, I make it inconvenient for you. I make it inconvenience for your family to support you and be there by rescheduling your court date. So, or postponing it to this day, but making sure that you know that I'm going to get the outcome I want.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it right. Does not make it right, absolutely, at all. But that is a strategy.
Could I interrupt for a minute? As far as plea agreement, they did not came one time off one because the no would not take any. And all these years I've been locked up, guys always tell, man, if they come with you with time served, take it and go home. I mean, that's logical. Okay, but I'm not going to take no time served. I'm not going to take no time to orchestrate as far as letting somebody throw a bomb in a house and kill 2 kids. I just can't. I got grandkids and I got a child, and I will not plead guilty if I got to spend the rest of my life in prison. That's just the bottom line. And a lot of people have been listening and say, man, you're crazy. I'm not taking no time served or no time for a crime that he done committed, man. You gotta understand, man. 2 kids got burned up in a fire. A man jumped through the window, was burned up, man. I cannot take that. That's not in my DNA. And that type of wickedness, what was done, is not in my DNA. I cannot take no time for the death of 2 kids in a firebomb. Think about it.
Absolutely.
2 kids died in a bomb and got burned up. I got grandkids. I got family. My uncles got kids, grandkids, but did not commit crime. This case gotta be put out there, and we gotta prove innocent, and the guilty gotta be convicted for this. I'm not taking no time for this. I don't know about them. Sometimes I say to them like, damn, y'all getting old. We're in prison. Anyway, it comes, we want to get out. And I understand that. Come on, man. I ain't gonna lock up 32 years and plead guilty for a crime I didn't commit. Just get out. 2 kids died. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
And I just want to take a moment to kind of relish in that, just to commend you and just give you much respect, because so often individuals with even the ones around you are telling you like to go against your principles, against your morals, to say, hey, just go ahead and just cop to the crime that you didn't commit, which technically is a violation of ethics, but that's another conversation. But to go ahead and cop and plead to something that you did not commit, just because to go home and not knowing, but I think it's admirable, and it gives me much respect, and it makes me as an advocate to go harder to fight for you to receive justice, due to the fact that you are adamant, and it's like, I'm not sacrificing. I get it. I done served 30 years, and yes, it's been tough, and I could just plead, and if they come to me with a plea, I can do time served and I can go home. But at the end of the day, it's going to be on me. I'm going to have to live with the fact that I copped to killing 2 kids that I did not kill.
We're not doing that.
And I refuse to do that. So I want to just highlight that and make sure to just give you your respect, the utmost respect for standing on that and not letting the system get you to a point that you got to give in and you break to this. Because not a lot of people...
Miss Jones?
Yes.
Miss Jones?
Yes. Miss Jones.
If I got to spend the rest of my life in prison, but I got to die in prison, because I would not plead guilty for killing 2 kids. I ain't did it. My uncles ain't did it. Well, I don't do with this. Would never do such thing. I can't do it. And it might sound crazy, because a lot of guys there just want out, and the system always trick them like, okay. A lot of guys be going to court. Guys are there for crime they did not commit. So I'll be 10 years. They take it because they want to do that life. That they don't want to do as far as the end of the charges might bring the result a life sentence. So I might end up taking a time just to go home, or just a time to be able to sit and the tunnel. I'm a fighter. I'm not going to do that. Anything else, okay, I can't beat the system. I might try to go. Well, that's for us 2 kids dying in a fire, and I'm convicted for that. It's got to be proven we did not do that, because we did not do it, man. Honest to God, we did not do that crime. Neither my uncles. And I keep on saying my uncles. I'm not going to say me alone. All 3 of us did not commit that crime. And the East Baltimore, everybody in East Baltimore know who live in that neighborhood. And the prison system, though, the police department, though, everybody knows. But 32 years later, we're still fighting for our justice. And it's a damn shame, man. It's a damn shame. It's proven we ain't come to crime. But they want to protect this conviction, because a lot of things will be coming out. If it comes up, the prosecutor got to hide our flaws. The police department got to hide the flaws. At the end of the day, we're in there suffering for a crime we didn't commit, and 2 kids didn't get any justice.
Absolutely. And I just want to just reiterate to you that at this point, at this moment, because of who you have me along with you, I'm not giving up fighting either. So I'm fighting with you. And I'm not giving up. I'm not one to take stuff lying down, and when you knock me down, I definitely get back up. So I appreciate Andre bringing this to my attention and bringing your case and making me aware of it. And you definitely have an advocate. And once I pass the bar, you definitely got a hell of an attorney in your corner. So It's
Appreciate
not
you.
we not going down without a fight. We definitely not going to take this laying down. So just know that. And as I'm seeing in the chat that you are not alone. As I'm getting prayers for Duane, Lenny, and Rennie. Yes, free them all, free them now. This is so not fair. I am sorry this happened to y'all. What can we do? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and ask that question. What can we do? The community wants to know, what can we do to help advocate for your release immediately? And then we have we want justice, and then we have no justice, no peace, which is something that's been ringing true with Black Lives Matter. So just to go back to that question, what can we do to help advocate for your release immediately?
Okay, so better they 100% were innocent. That's the main thing. What I need to advocate is 2 kids died in a fire in 1992, January 2nd. Innocent. 4 and 5 years old. That's the main thing. I'm a grown man. I can deal with the situation and we'll deal with it until we get a solution. And remember, 2 kids died in a fire. That's the first thing. Justice needs to be served for them 2 kids. Secondly, 3 men is in prison for this crime. And we're adamant and we are 100% innocent. Justice needs to be served. Thirdly, the person who committed a crime is in prison, confessed the crime, and his brothers is on the streets 32 years, who walking in society and is guilty of this crime and many more crimes. Not only that, a guy in my case was killed 2 weeks after was locked up. Same person, I'm saying, confessed this crime. This is a friend of one of the victim family, and the kid, one of the kid's father, was killed 2 weeks after was locked up, gunned down in Baltimore City. The day before this happened, I should bring back. The night before this happened, these people went to this house and had a competition where guns was pulled on the person. The gun fell, everybody break apart. Within 24 hours, a bomb was thrown in the house. Within 2 weeks, a person was killed in that same house. I mean, damn. I mean, is there a link? The Eastern District Police Department knew about this when we got locked up. That person got killed. What's in that house? Come to that house 24/7. His life was attempted. The night before the firebombing. Weeks before the firebombing, constant life threatening, running with guns, all that. And they got 2 weeks after we got locked up. If there's a link, I don't know what else is a link. And the bottom line is, we need to stop acting like, okay, it's a shut and closed case. Guy's locked up for it, and that's where it is. It's just the truth got to be told, and evidence got to be put out there, and people got to be put in position as far as to do the right thing. Stop this. We need to come to a conclusion. We need to accomplish crime. Them kids need justice. And we need to stop protect our careers and all that stuff. Put that to the side. Deal with life. If you're a brother, your husband, your nephew, any male figure was in life was in there for a crime they didn't commit. How would you feel? How would you feel? We need to stop that. How would you feel?
For Catandra.
And that's what
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
And with him saying what he said, like, you have some of the top detectives in the police department that was actually proven to show corruption, and the same officers that basically was proven to be corrupted because other guys' case have been overturned, coming down from then till now, it's still being overturned. Shouldn't, like, any cases that's, especially you would think a life sentence or something like that, should be revisited by the state or a special office by these officers? Wouldn't you think that will be like something in a carriage of justice? Because now you're talking about not just someone that gets sentenced to 5 years, 6 years, done did that in the 90s. You're talking about people that's actually still sitting. And I feel as though, like, you know, like something can be done or should be done as far as like on the officers' behalf of them doing this injustice, or you know what I mean, like that.
So absolutely. Two parts to that. One, I know for a fact that when there's something that comes out as big as it's been happening, especially with the cases that he sent me with, the list of exonerations that have taken place with the credibility of these officers, that one thing, I think this is where advocacy would come into play, is to making sure to hold Baltimore Prosecutor's Office accountable to make sure that they review those cases, because I don't feel like they're doing it. Because anytime his case has been sitting here and I'm sitting here reading where these officers have done that, they're supposed to do that. I would think that would be.
You got to understand too, though. Merlin Mosby, the state's attorney, she looked like she was trying to do something, the right thing, and she was getting slaughtered for that.
Her.
You know what I mean? So if anybody was, I mean, from even guys that I've known personally that actually confronted her, because I know guys that actually work with her in the mayor's office, like ex-convicts that's actually home doing the right thing, that's actually around her on a daily basis. She's a good sister. You know what I mean? And she's for the people. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why they're trying to get her out of there. And I feel as though, like, if anything, though, because she know these officers, she was raised in the city, she heard the stories, she know people's on the blocks, so that's why she's having more of a connection with the citizens, you know. And
absolutely. Go ahead. You finish your thought.
But I mean, that's what I wanted to say, because, like, I just find it crazy that, I mean, you have some officers that pretty much the system know, like, did some things. I feel as though, like, it's only the right thing, even if you don't want to. You got to revisit, especially cases that was looking shaky, you know. Like, they know cases that's shaky and what's not. And I feel as though, like, you know, forget the backlash you're going to get. It's just the right thing, because just like how those 2 kids' family lives destroyed, you got 3 men family lives that's destroyed as well, too, because that's like death. Dudes doing life. They ain't no different than the kids that's like death. You know what I mean?
5 victims.
Yeah, like
5 victims of the system. 5 victims at this point.
Interject 1 second. Hello,
yes,
everybody. Yeah, I'm just listening. This is Sister Jani. I am the former chairwoman of the Black Panther Party in Washington, D.C., and I'm just sitting here thinking and brainstorming on how we can go to Capitol Hill and write a letter. Like, if someone could submit a letter of your case file, then I could take it to the governor of Westmore of Maryland and put it in his face. And if I have to go every single day to bring attention to this case, that's what I am willing to do on my behalf as an advocate for the people here in Washington, D.C. Okay? Because this makes absolutely no sense for you guys to be still locked up like this. Like, my heart is breaking for you. Seriously, and for your families and your wives and your children and your families, because they're doing this day by day with you. You know, and like she said, I commend you for holding the line, brother. You know, and I hope that you are finding some kind of redemption within your heart and soul to not hate people, because I would hate people right now if that was happening to me, and I know I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I hear your conviction. I feel your sorry, and I don't feel sorry for you. I empathize with you because you're a strong man to be here and stand before these people and share your story of your innocence and being proven innocent and still being detained. That just shows how corrupt this so-called system of justice in the United States does not work for black people. It doesn't matter that you're Jamaican, you're a black man. And even at that, you are a threat to this society. And they would rather lock you up and throw away the key than to advocate for you and give you the justice that you deserve. So I'm going to mute my mic because I'm a little emotional because this is serious to me. It's near and dear. I lost both of my brothers to this war out here in the streets. They are dead, gone before they was 54 years old, 30 years old. They didn't make it, just in street violence. And it's so many of our black men that are wasting away behind bars with all this talent and compassion and love. So my brother, please know that we are with you. We're standing with you in anything that I can do from Washington, D.C. I'm in South Carolina right now. But anything I can do on Capitol Hill, please contact me and let me know what it is we need to do. Like I said, Westmore he's accessible. We do have a black governor of Maryland now that is opening up new doors and advocating for people a lot more better than they have been in the last 100 years. I can say that much on his behalf. So let's get a letter or a petition together that we can bring your case to the forefront of the news and the media. We have to contact CNN, whoever, headline news, whatever. We can do it. It can be done, So just please, if your wife, they want to say something or speak on your behalf, please let them give a chance to speak and come forward. We do have a full, I'm telling you, we so full in the back chat room, I can't even add anybody else. So people are here that really support you. If you just drop your name in the chat room and just let them know that they can come, I can bring you forward and put somebody else back if they want to speak on your behalf. And I think Duane dropped off. Okay, yeah,
no, he's not. He's there.
Okay,
Sister, I appreciate you, and I feel for you as far as the brothers that caught up in gun violence. This is just what's happening over and over again, and we need to stop this. And it's just overall, the black man been persecuted over and over again. Gun violence, wrongful conviction. Not only wrongful conviction, but you got guys being locked up for various charges which should be less and doing the length amount of time because it's a business. It's $1 billion. Exactly. It's $1 billion industry, incarceration. And they got to keep it filled. And it's just a modern new slavery, and that's just the bottom line.
Absolutely.
And just to add one last thing, because like Ms. Jones I've met Duane because I did a 30-year sentence in which, I did half of that, 15 years. So, 15 years, we've been in a lot of institutions, a lot of different institutions, met a lot of guys and all that. And the reason why I stuck with Duane all these years, and I told him, I'm like, look, I'm going to get you out of here because it's just something about my energy. And when you read the case and you see forefront, like I'm reading it, there's a lot of things he didn't even say that I know because it's the short span, when you just can't off top of your head. But if you really had time, like me and him did, we had years. And I'm reading these things because it's not, we have time. And you actually see the things and you're like, yo. And me not telling Duane, I'm telling him like, man, to myself, I'm like, man, as long as I got life in my body, I'm going to make sure that I try to do everything, whether it's finance and all that, try to get you out of here. And, like when I got locked up, I was young and Duane was one of the first in cellies that I had. And, like the man that I am today, it was guys like him that been there for years that took me up as a youngin', and despite what he had going on, he had the time out to actually school me on how to get through the system and how to get back into society, and like a blueprint, you know what I mean? Because he's seen guys done it. And once I learned the blueprint of the shops and what to get into, because I don't know these things, he been there for years. So me being in the celly, he was more like a big brother figure, and he was letting me know what to do and making sure I was doing the right thing and who to stay away from. And so like it was like my moral obligation for real. You know, that's what I told Catandra about that. Like, look, you know, this like my bro. Like, you know, I cried when I left the jail. I cried because, you know what I mean, this like my man, like this bro, and I know his situation. I got a lot of friends, I got a lot of homeboys, but it was just different because I really know these dudes they ain't do that. So it was more like it's different, you know, to actually be in a room with someone and actually see them hold their composure and go through on a daily basis, like, you know what I mean? And still don't let whatever they got going on affect how they treat people, how they come off on people on a daily basis. So, and he's the same until now, the same demeanor. He relaxed, chill. He don't bother nobody, and it's like, you know, I know something gonna give. I know God got you, bro. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, G.
It's just, you know, we always was talking about that. Like, it's gonna be the day, because, you know, even with me, remember you was telling me, like, Dred, you're not gonna do no 30 years, Dred. What you talking about? You the one taught me about law library, about cases, about violations, and, you know what I mean? So that's why I got, like, a connection to you, bro, because you, like, taught me a lot. You know what I mean? And with that amount of years we had, like, me and you was in the cell for half the years I was locked up. So I gotta credit you for a lot of that stuff, bro.
You're welcome, G. And that's just something to do. That's just something to do as far as me being there, because you gotta understand, you wear that shoes, you wear that shoes. A lot of people don't realize the things we go through, because put them in a prison, throw them away, lock the key. We're human beings, man. We're human beings. We got kids. We got family. We got people who love us. And we got to stand up and be strong in prison, because our being raised and all that, and we cannot keep on crying about spoiled milk. But at the end of the day, we're human beings, man. We get homesick. When you got that wife, when you got that family member who cries for you 24/7, when you got that mother who's passed away, when you got that grandfather, when you got an aunt pass away because of being depressed, being in prison, it hurts, man. People must know that it hurts. I mean, you don't gotta walk the shoes or wear the shoes. Let's put yourself in that situation of being locked up and going through this abusive system. And then worse, you know you did not commit a crime. It hurts. A lot of guys ask me all the time, oh, you do it. Man, if it was me, I would get a high. I would kill myself. I would do this. I would do that. I could not deal with that situation. But I tell them all the time, once got a life, it's a way. That's the bottom line. The end of the day is, I'm not going to come in here and turn over and die. That's what they want me to do. I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to do that. I'm alive and well. I did not commit this crime. I'm going to fight all the way through, because I'm not going to sit back and accept this. We don't do it, man. And people must understand, this incarceration stuff is not a joke. Y'all might say that some people deserve it, some people this, whatever. But it's a lot of guys in there who is wrongfully convicted. And you got a lot of guys in there, man, who got charges they didn't even supposed to get charged with because of poverty. Ain't got no money for lawyers, whatever. Guys who are facing 5 years end up facing life. Guys in there end up doing 23, 25 years because they refuse to testify against a co-defendant. Either way, you do it, you just rat. You're going to get hurt. If you ain't do it, you're going to serve time. They don't care. Black and brown in here is an injustice. And I just been fighting, man. And like I said, it's a rough road, man. It's a hard swim of the stream. And I'm hurting, man. My family's hurting. And if these victims should be listening, come on, man. Please, please, I'm asking, man, do the right thing. Don't worry about perjury, what people are saying, what people is doing, or what being locked up. If the police got you pointing out on that photo ring, this man did not do this, whatever, he did it, whatever, or trying to influence him to the wrong thing, which was done. Tainted photo rays, it's a subjective photo rays, false statement, false testimony. I'm asking, man, it's 32 years, man. I'm trying to come home to my family and my uncles. Please, I'm begging, man, do the right thing. Please, just for a second, walk in our shoes. Please, put yourself in our situation and do the right thing. Be not killed.
Catandra.
Yes.
You got a lot of people that joined the message. You want to actually give them a little brief on where we at and what we're talking about and what happened, because they probably wasn't really aware of how we're in the conversation, just like for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was kind of caught up in the moment there. So yeah, just if you are joining now, just want to give you a heads up that we are live with Mr. Duane Dundas, and we're talking about him and his uncles, Lenny and Rennie, who were wrongfully convicted of a crime of 2 children out in Baltimore. We are right now we are discussing what can we do as a community, as supporters, to advocate better, to make sure that we advocate to bring Duane and his uncles home, as they have been sitting incarcerated for 32 years for a crime that they did not commit. We have been touching on the corruption that has taken place in their throughout their case and their investigation. We have talked about the polygraph test that they passed to show that they did not commit this crime, as well as eyewitness testimony. I think we touched on it a little bit. He mentioned what we're doing. So if we are live now, did 30. Willie Hamilton just entered the chat and said he did 30 years and have known him since I've been working on his case. Major D, shout out to Major D, which is Duane, is another name for Duane. So you have Willie Hamilton in the chat as well, Duane. I think he's also online. I think I see him in the corner there. So that is what we're doing right now. And just to follow up with you, Duane, on everything that you said, to follow up on what Boss Lady J said, or Janae, who is my partner, as well as what Andre touched on. You are no longer fighting by yourself. You and your family are no longer fighting by yourself. And as long as one thing about me, and I have stressed this to Andre, Janae knows this about me. When I entered law school, one of the things that, and I think we have touched on, is I take it personal. When something happens to somebody that looks like me, a black man, I don't just see another black man. I see your humanity. I see my brother. I see my uncles. I see my dad. And I take it personal. And I told you that I am now in your corner, and I'm going to take it personal until they say that you are released. Until today they say Lenny and Rennie are released. Because I'm gonna continue to take it personal, because any given day of the week, it could have been me. In certain instances, it has been me. So you are not by yourself. I do want to take an opportunity, because I do know that Latanya is your wife. And so I do want to see if she does want to speak as well. Because we all are here, and it's an outpour of just the comments and just the people that have been logging in of your support. So you are not by yourself. We're doing this time with you until you come home, until Lenny comes home, until Rennie comes home. But Miss Latanya Dundas, do you have anything that you would like to say at this moment?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, I'm Latonya, I'm Duane's wife. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who is, supporting him and being in his corner, him and his uncle's corners, because this has been a long time coming that we'll be looking for this type of support in order to propel his case forward, and so people could be aware of what's happening. I just appreciate your tenacity and the fire that you have, and everybody who is willing to help and supporting them so they could come home to their families, and their friends, people who love them and care about them. It's been years upon decades of them not being able to be with their family and enjoying family life, whether it's good or bad. And all these years have been stolen from them, which, they cannot get back, because time is ultimate. Time is everything. And then that's the only thing that we have. And that's the most precious thing that we have, our time. And to be away from somebody that you love and you care about, and you missing out on all, just the little things that you do with people that you love and you care about. All those things just seem so big, and at times it can become so overwhelming. I just feel like the system is just there to just destroy Black men and tear down the Black family, and and the kids are suffering mostly, behind that. And I just want, them to be released. I want them to come home. The time is now. The time is now. They need to be with us, with the family, with our friends, people who care about them, to enjoy, their life. And I just hope that everybody in the chat and everybody that's online who's here now just spread the word and just spread awareness and talk about it and share the story, so it can gain more momentum and we can get stronger in numbers. So
yeah, absolutely. Willie, yeah, I got you. Thank you, Miss Latanya, for speaking your piece about this as well. And absolutely, this is not the end of it, and this is not the last segment either, because we're not gonna shut up. I don't shut up. At least I don't. Quiet is not in my vocabulary at all. But so I know that Mr. Willie Hamilton has joined on, and he would like to say something as well. Yeah, boss. As Janae put in the chat, we don't shut up, we show up. So that's what we do. And she been rocking with me for a long time, so she know I have no problem. So, but Mr. Willie Hamilton, you can go ahead. You have the floor.
Good evening, everybody. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my brother, Major D, Mr. Dundas, I urge you all for some form of course of action. One of the things, because his case is how it is, right? My belief and what we need is the support on pushing the prosecutors to reopen his case. Meaning, in Baltimore City, there's something called the Sentence Integrity Unit. So prior to
that point,
having Bates taken office, we had Marilyn Mosby in there, and a lot of guys were getting relief because of that. But unfortunately, Mr. Dundas wasn't one of them. So my belief is that we need to hold Mr. Bates accountable, because since he's took office, he's kind of literally shut down this unit. And they've been very selective on what they've been doing, and really not much. Because I've been in courtrooms all the time with these prosecutors. They're not doing anything. So my belief is that we need to pressure Mr. Bates to reopen this case, presenting all the evidence that we have to show that Mr. Dundas, Lenny, and Rennie are not guilty of this, even though they say.
Mr. Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, let me interrupt you right quick because the star of the show, Mr. Duane, got knocked out. So I need somebody, Janae, if you can, let somebody out and let Duane back in, because he is not letting him in. I need somebody. If you have already spoken, besides like myself, Janae, the hosts, the three hosts, if you have already spoken, I'm gonna need for you. I understand that y'all are here to support, and I get that. And if you have spoken, I need you to kind of step off so we can get Duane back into the studio.
Hey, Catandra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna leave out so Duane and everyone who haven't, because you know me having familiar with it, so everyone could just have a chance to do their thing.
Absolutely, we could touch bases later offline. So, thank you, Andre. We're gonna try to get Duane back in here because he's been kicked out.
Do you want me to continue?
Wait for him. Go ahead. I got it. I got room now for him.
Okay, so we need to pressure Ivan Bates to open this case. I mean, in brief, I think we need to get together and really outline the evidence in this case and how they were railroaded. We need to really put some pressure on them because, man, they work for us, and that's what we can't forget, that they work for us. We just need to put pressure on what real justice is. I'll end with that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you guys all showing up for Duane. Duane, you got a backing. You got a support system. So you got a fight squad here. It's just more so of us organizing and getting in Westmore's face and getting in the prosecutor's face and holding them accountable for what needs to be done with your case, as well as whatever I can do on the back end from a legal aspect with my connections. And so, Duane, is Duane back?
He's back, but his device is not connected. It's probably a low bandwidth. So he's got to go back and allow his microphone and camera to tell him to go out and come back in. Okay, there you go. All right, we got you back, brother.
What that's Hamza?
Okay.
Huh?
That's Hamza, huh?
That was me.
That's my man right there. Hey, Catandra.
Yes.
That's a good brother right there. That brother right there, he told me before he left prison, when leave, he's going to fight for prisoners. And God damn it, from day one, he's been fighting. That's a good brother right there, man. Him, Wayne Sams, Wayne Bruton, couple guys, man, but I can't mention. Johnny Jones, couple guys. I'm saying, man, these brothers right there, these freedom fighters, man. I love these brothers.
Wait, is that one of the ones that we talked about?
Yes, they're locked up for years, and they did not leave us hanging like other brothers. I told the brother last time I'm going to be on the show, man. You know what I mean? He said, man, he's busy, got a busy schedule, but he's going to charm in, sleeping or whatever. He's going to charm in, and I appreciate it, man. Hamza, I love it, man. Appreciate you.
I love you. I love you.
I didn't hear what you were saying because the reception went out, but appreciate you, my brother. Love it, man. And keep on doing what you're doing because guys like you, we need many of y'all, man, especially like you, because, and Miss Jones.
Yes.
These guys you need to contact because they're fighting for us. They go to Annapolis, the Senate, everywhere, and assist guys getting back home. You go to court right now, if you go to court right now, these guys been in a courtroom. He just went home like a year and a half ago. Freedom fighter. Love it, man.
I love you too, bro.
Yeah. Good dude, man.
Absolutely. So I echo everything everybody has said. I hear an echo myself, so I'm not sure if it's my microphone.
It's your
It's what?
Feedback. That's all.
I got my microphone in. Okay, that nice. I don't know why it's doing that. It's kind of throwing me off. I echo everybody.
Hello?
Sentiments. Greg Palmer. Would you like to speak?
Yes. Well, I'm here with my brother, man. I slept beside him, and I was here
real quick. If you're not, yeah. Can you mute somebody mute because there's
it's just for me. That's all. Mute.
I think everybody echoing. Yeah, whoever's not, they should mute. I think everybody should be the first to talk.
Okay, go ahead now, Mr. Palmer.
Yeah, and earlier when he was talking about the same guy named Carl Taylor. I also know Carl Taylor, and I somewhat grew up with Carl Taylor. And like you said, back in the 90s, you know, me and a friend of mine, yes, we did something. And what Carl did, he literally went to the police because he was fighting a charge. And he told exactly what we did. And with that, I think they gave him like something like a lighter sentence. So when Duane was telling the whole story about Carl Taylor, you know, being a snitch, and he'd been working, you know, with the police department, that is very true because he also was in my, you know, paperwork as well. I just want to address that. You know, but I know Duane, I know, you know, about his case, and I know that man did not do nothing like that. That brother is a good brother. He a little bit older than me, and I say he has helped me out so many times in the situation that I was in. And when I came home, you know, I'm on the right path, and like I said, I'm here with him. I'm going to always support him. You know, I guess pretty much, you know, that's what I say. That's all.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm here.
absolutely.
And Catandra?
Yes.
Yeah, that Gregory Palmer was a friend of mine's one step aside in the dormitory for like 8 years. And we had this conversation. I was like, I'm finding him, that I know I'm in prison for a crime and commit, whatever. And I told him that, man, this guy, what he said, look out for him, sit in jail, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I told him I did a couple of crime. And this is what I did, like I told her earlier. And he just come on the blue like, I had that same situation with a guy named Carl Taylor. I said, man, yo, that's the same person I'm talking about. So this is a guy who worked with the state, and the state worked with him. But in my situation, I told this man I did not commit a crime. You know? And he wrote them and told him I committed a crime to get his time cut and went home and then came back on the same charges, the stereotype charge he was on. And years later, when he came back, he had 20 years. So remember now, he went home because he gave information to me, lying. And he came back on a charge. It just so happened I was in the next institution and this guy was talking to me. We talk about case, whatever, and I'm giving the same scenario I'm telling you right now. He got quiet in the cell. I said, "What's up, man? You getting all quiet? What's up?" "Oh, that's my man. That's my comrade. You know what I mean? I know that guy. Whatever, man. I can't believe this." So when the right cartel wrote him back and said, "Man, whatever Duane told you, he's right, man. He was a good man. I just want to go home and align that man and stay in the old line. I just want to right the wrong." The Innocent Project at the time went and saw him and got a statement, but then it said he need an attorney because, again, he's worried about perjury. Mrs. Taylor is now deceased, and that's a big problem. That's what I'm worried about. It's like 2 witnesses now has died in my case. I can't afford everybody dying because all the truth got to come out. Because I don't want to die with the truth. But like Mr. Palmer was telling you that that's what was done to them. He works for the state, and the state know what time it is, and it gets him to line people. He's trying to go home and all that stuff. He watch the newspaper and get information and write the police department, and it works with him. And because of he having 10 years, I wanted to go home. He lied to me. I got double life plus 10 years. You know, I know he's gone. He's dead. So, you know, but he did give a statement that he lied. He wanted wrong. He wanted right or wrong. So that's a part of getting back. And I'm hoping that, you know what I mean, the statement still work because he said he wanted right or wrong. That's what Mr. Gregor Palmer was talking about.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody. We are winding down to that picture. We're winding down to. We have like 20 minutes left, so I do want to ask you one more question, and then we can work on closing out. Duane, as you know, I talked about that this is not the last segment because we're going to continue to talk about this, and we're going to continue to scream free you until it's backwards. We're going to continue to scream free Lenny, free Rennie until it's backwards, because we're going to do everything in our power. And while I'm still living, while we are still living, we have all made this commitment to make sure that we're not stopping until you guys are home with your family, because that's where you guys deserve to be. You should have never been in this position. And as someone who is going into the justice system as an attorney soon, I am so sorry that the system did this to you. But I have seen it so many times with our black men, as you stated earlier. They railroad our guys into it, and they rather lock up a good man and throw away the key because you are the ultimate threat. So I do have one question when it comes to what as far as you can go, what role do systematic biases and racism play in wrongful convictions, and how can these biases be addressed and overcome?
Can overcome by we stop looking at the crime and looking at the law, and as far as is this person innocent or not, and give the law. You all as attorney, like I said before, take this bar and give an oath. Innocent before proven guilty. Stop being zealous. Stop trying to rush to judgment. Stop rushing from guilty and not even proven innocent. In our case, in our situation, that was the case. Guilty, not even thought of these guys being innocent. And it's, like I said, I'm not trying to be all racial and stuff, but it's a black and brown thing. We're suffering there, and the bottom line is just get a conviction without even thinking that a person might be innocent. You can address an appeal, give it back, try to get back, and take years. It's easy to find guilty. It's hard to get out. And we got to focus on that oath. Innocent before proven guilty. And not only that, man, it takes the community to realize, understand when a crime is happened is like, okay, the victim suffers. But always remember, the person accused of the crime is a victim also and suffers, and so the family. And we need to stop, rush to judgment, and look in the situation and think like, okay, there's a possibility my family could be in that situation. Let's check the evidence out first. Stop listening to the media. Stop jumping in the situation, the propaganda, and check the evidence out. And give the person the benefit of the doubt. And stop rushing judgment. And stop looking at people because of the nationality, where they're coming from, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Basically, stop looking at people because of nationality. It's not everybody's a criminal. It's not everybody because the system put out there they are criminals, whatever. Don't do that. Look at evidence. Do the right thing. And that's the solution I can come up with. Do the right thing. Just look in the evidence. Like I said, you're in that situation. Don't rush to judgment, and do not let people convince you to lie on a person, because you're messing up a lot of people's life. My life, my family life, and also, again, the victim and their family are Catandra.
Absolutely. Thank you for that response, Duane. I just want to say, because we are down to the last 15 minutes, and I do want to wrap this up. Duane, I do appreciate you sharing your story with us. I do also want to thank you for entrusting me to be an advocate on your behalf. Give me permission to do all of this and to continue to do this and continue to push for you. I want to shout out to Andre for introducing me to you, as well as shout out to my partner in crime. Well, not in crime. Let me take that back. I like to choose my words carefully. My partner for life, Miss Janae, who is Boss Lady J, who is the one who is hosting this tonight. If you want to reach any of us, if you want to reach Janae, she is my director of community engagement for Black Justice Initiative. She can be reached through the Black Justice Initiative page. All you gotta do is just call her name. She does have access to it. Or you can reach her through Jani Cook or her page, Janae Earl, as well as to watch a replay of this show tonight, to hear Duane's story, to hear all of us passionately talk about why and how we're going to continue to fight to bring Duane and his uncles, Lenny and Rennie Martin, I believe is their last names, Martin, home for this wrongful conviction of serving 32 years. You can also follow that on Bossed Up Radio Show page on Facebook. So please feel free to go follow that page, as well as it is posted on Black Justice Initiative page on Facebook. We are on Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to follow us, to follow me and get in contact with me. As I introduced myself in the beginning, I am a rising 4L law student. I also am the founder and director of Black Justice Initiative. You can follow me or find me, contact me through my Instagram page or Facebook page, Catandra Jones. You can also find me and reach me through Imani Amara. It's usually easier to get to the Catandra Jones because that's usually self-explanatory. As well as you can contact me and follow me through Black Justice Initiative as you continue to follow us as we fight for Duane and his uncle's freedom. It is our job to hold Baltimore accountable for their misconduct miscarriage of justice in this case. It is our job to make sure that we continue to fight and advocate for Duane and his uncles to bring them justice. But also, let's not forget that it is our job to also fight and bring justice for the 2 kids who lost their lives, whose killer is still walking free, who has not been caught because they have incarcerated the wrong people. So I want you, if you want to, you can drop your names in the chat. Feel free to inbox me. Also, if you want to send me an email, you can reach me at jcatandra@outlook.com. That is the best way to get me as well, to talk to me if you want to know what I have planned, what my strategy is to help strategize as we advocate for Duane and his uncles, as I continue, as me and Janae continue to do things to draft that petition to get in front of Westmore, as well as the councilmen that I talk to. If you want to get in and want to strategize, and we all strategize together and get on one accord to advocate for Duane and his uncle's freedoms, please feel free to reach out to me. I know I've seen people dropping things in the chat. It's a lot for me to see right now, but please feel free to reach out to me. I am always open to it. I'm not going to be quiet. We refuse to be silent. We refuse to stop, and we are demanding the immediate release of Duane and his uncles, as they have been wrongfully convicted and they have been sitting in prison entirely too long. And just to put this out there, I'm coming for Maryland for this one. When we get them home, I'm coming for Maryland. So this is not done. I'm coming for Maryland on this one. And I declare that. And so I thank you all for tuning in. I thank you all for the support. I am going to give Duane another opportunity to close out, as well, as we're winding down to the last final 10 minutes. If there's anything that I missed, Duane, please feel free to follow up with it and put it out there. I definitely won't mind it. So I'm going to turn this back over to Duane.
Yes, and we want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Like we said, this is not the end. This is only the first of a series of podcasts until we get you guys free. What day of the week, just let me know. We usually do Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., but we'd love to have your other brothers come on and share your uncles, come on and share their side of the story, as well as anybody that can help us advocate and organize to get you free. Because we're not asking them to let you go. We are demanding your immediate release. We're still fighting for Black Panthers from 60 years ago, 50 years ago, still in prison, that hadn't spent one day in before a judge, that have just been sitting and rotting in prison. And we will not allow that to happen to you guys. We're not going to do it. Not in this generation. Not on my watch as a Black Panther. This will not happen. Okay? And I'm sorry it took us so long to get to here, but we're here now. And you got the right people in the room to make a change and a difference in your situation. So I hope you go to bed knowing that you got people that are really going to fight for you, and that are really going to do everything we can within our power to make sure that you are immediately released as quick as possible. I just, my heart goes out to your family, your wife, your children, your grandchildren, every birthday, holiday you miss. We hope we can replace that with all the love and support that we can pour into you, Mr. Dundas, and your family. So we just thank you all for your time. If it's anything anybody wants to say, you can unmute your mic at this time. If you have any information you want to share, please do so in the chat room, and we'll make sure that everybody gets it. Okay, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Catandra?
Yeah, I'm here, Duane.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else to say, because y'all did it, and I appreciate y'all sisters, man, for stepping up to the plate and give me a platform to put my case out there. Appreciate y'all. I mean, it's just love. And I'm going to say it one more time. Me and my uncles is 100% innocent of this case. And what I've done to do with it, we ain't got nothing to hide. Anybody want to ask questions, answer it. because it's at a point where it is where it is. We're innocent. And I'm going to talk as far as our family and friends who support us, the brothers who came in tonight. I appreciate y'all, man, because you know how it is and how it feels to be incarcerated. And it's a harder situation being incarcerated for a crime they didn't commit. And I've been fighting. I'm homesick. I see a lot of guys going home, and I'm happy for that. But goddamn, man, I mean, we need to taste the same thing, freedom. And I appreciate y'all, man, for saying what y'all saying. And I'm going to hold y'all accountable because guess what? I've been in this situation before. A lot of people start that they not finish because they get frustrated. Family get frustrated. Friends get frustrated. But guess what? I got to live with it. I'm still in prison, fighting and fighting and fighting. You know what I mean? So I'm just hoping, and I know y'all gonna stick with me through this fight. And I appreciate y'all. My wife, my friends, everybody who support me. Thank y'all. Quick. Appreciate you.
Quick thing. What was your
and
name?
G, love it, G. Appreciate you. Without this would have happened. You told me years ago before you went home that regardless of what, you're gonna try to assist me and financially or get some support, and you did. And I cannot forget Wayne Sams. He's my advocate too. Everybody. I love the Catandra. I love the sister. Next sister, I love her. I didn't get her name because I got blocked out. What's her name again?
Yeah.
Janae. Sister is a freedom fighter, and I appreciate you a lot. And as I said, I love the sister because that just helped me. But what you just said in the comment a while ago is a freedom fighter. And keep on doing it because we need your assistance. We need your attention. We need your platform. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Duane. And one of the things, Duane, you nicknamed me. You and Rennie nicknamed me Nanny of Maroons. So I got something to hold up to. So you ain't getting rid of me that easy. So I just want to let you know that. I can't speak for others who came before me, but I can speak for me. I don't take things lying down. And I'm in it until you home. And so that was my nickname you and Rennie gave me. I'm a stick to it. And I gotta continue. I gotta hold up to that. So we not done. We just getting started. So I can't speak for what, and I'm sorry that they carried it like that. But I'm not going nowhere no time soon. I'm not going nowhere. And with that being said, we are at 9:55. Again, I just want to echo everybody else's sentiments and thank you guys for showing up. Shout out to Andre. If y'all don't know, that is AKA G. That's who he was referring to, who brought me awareness to this case. Janae, thank you for the platform. Thank you for hosting this. I got you, sis. And you know we gonna rock out. You know how we get when we get together, so you know what it is.
Oh, it's always on. It's all action, all gas, no brakes.
It's up and it's stuck. It's up and it's stuck, and that's the way it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So, anybody else before the last 5 minutes roll out? If you got something to say,
the mic is open. We can take our time. Yes,
the mic is open.
The mic is open.
You guys make sure you connect with me. We got a lot we can do. I'll do the same.
Definitely, we will. Does anybody else want to speak now? We will let you know when we're gonna host the next podcast series, but we want to continue on with this story, and that's how we build momentum up, is to be continuously. You have to be constant and continuous. Don't let this just be the first and the last time we come together and talk about this case. Okay, so that's the more people we reach, the more advocacy we can obtain, for you all. And like I said, I do know that Governor Westmore is attainable. He's reachable. He's reachable, and with him in office, hopefully we can see some real justice for the state of Maryland coming to light and to fruition. So, my brothers, just please keep holding on, keep your faith intact. You've got a strong base. Literally, it was so many people on the background. I could not let not one person on at all. So I can only imagine how many people that we're going to reach once this gets the replay and everything going. So we'll keep it up. Like I said, you can reach it on Bossed Up Radio Show. We started out on Black Justice Initiative, but something happened with the connection. So maybe the first 15, 20 minutes we didn't get to record at all. But we did get to pick up once we got Brother Duane on the podcast. So just listen to the playback. You can inbox me, email me, whatever you need from me out of Washington, D.C. I will be there. Like I said, I'll go take a letter to every senator and mayor, governor in the White House. If it takes that, that's probably what it's going to take to get this case recognized on the State House grounds. So even if we have to do a rally, like I am an organizer for the Million Woman World March. So I have to be on Capitol Hill. We're gonna have the Million Woman World March in October, but up until then, I have to go to the State House and advocate for different reasons. So please, just call on me, contact me, email me, whatever you need to do. Whoever can submit this letter, I'm gonna put my email address in here. It's just my name at gmail.com. And that concludes our show for tonight. And I just thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing. Much love and peace to the family. And we are out. If it's nothing else, that's it.